I'm going to bring this shin of mine over and across on his hip. Alright? And now there's a lot of ways that he can fight. Chris can extend this leg straight back. And now he's out of my half guard. He's going to start circling through and working for his pass. All kinds of bad things. Very, very fancy, dancy setup from this position to get into a triangle. So I have an overhook on this side. Chris's head is on this side. He's aiming to stomp that leg back. My shin is in front. As soon as he kicks that leg back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this foot of mine that was hanging onto his leg underneath me, and now I'm going to go up onto my shoulder. All right, some of you are going to be like, that's absurd. But I'll get you to do it anyway, because it's jiu-jitsu, and I just don't care. So I'm here. I'm going to come up onto my hip. I'm going to go up onto my shoulder. I rock through. As I come through, and make sure I keep my setup. So I'm here with Chris. I rock through. I go up to my shoulder. Now, as I'm driving through, I need to make sure this arm presents itself for me, his head presents itself for me, and I can end up in position. All right? What? Now, Ryan Hall works his setup, but Felipe Costa also works his setup, and I want to end up finishing in a good triangle. The details in the triangle are going to be not even half as important as the details of the setup on this one, but it's all cool stuff. So I'm here. Again, I'm bracing over the shoulder. This shin of mine is in the hip. There's a lot of reasons I like to play this position. It's kind of like a Z guard, which is a variation of half guard, fancy fancy stuff. But I play a lot of games from here. But if Chris kicks his leg back, one of the things I can do is I can cut my shoulder under. So look, I'm going up onto my hip, at which point I'm going to rock through. This leg opens, I close the door again, and I can end up underneath this far shoulder, and I do jiu-jitsu. Right?
You're holding on to that arm though, right? Left one?
I'm maintaining it for a little bit. There's a little bit of hang time in it.
You could like pull it away, maybe.
Hypothetically, yeah. I mean, there's other sweeps and submissions I can go into too, but that'll get even fancier and dancier. But this is kind of like the basic staple submission that I can set up from this spot. Thank you. I'll borrow Brewster on this one, okay? I'll show you, Sean Brewster. Now, but I'll just demonstrate here, okay? So we're in half guard. I've got my shin across. He's got this arm as an underhook. All right. So Sean now kicks his leg back. I'm going to brace up against the shoulder. I cut up onto my hip, at which point I'm going to bring this leg of mine over and through. So look, I'm literally rolling from one shoulder to the other shoulder. This leg comes up and over. My knee meets the back of his neck. I rock all the way through. I lock up. This arm of mine will go underneath his shoulder, grabbing. Back of the head, I get my finish. The position I want to see everybody finish, okay? I'm going to be really, really easy when I get this. The position I want to see you guys all finishing in is coming underneath. So I've got my triangle on this side. I want, again, like a really 90-degree angle on his neck. I do not want to be facing Sean like face to face. I want to be looking into his ear. At the same time, I'm locked over the shoulder. I shouldn't see much shoulder. Ideally, I should be covering that shoulder so I can't see it anymore. This arm, I'll either grab his shoulder or grab my own shin. And now this ensures I stay at this angle, which is a very advantageous angle. This arm of mine behind the back of the neck, pinch my knees tight, dig my heels down, extend, get a good submission.